Hello guys, it's Al here, and today we are going to discuss the most dominant car on 24 Hour of Le Mans, and that car is the Audi R8. Okay, so we're gonna talk first generation of Audi R8, which named R8R. The R8R project began in 1997, when Audi began research into entering the 24 Hours of Le Mans. The first prototype was displayed in 1998, showing an open cockpit car which featured many Audi styling cues, yet lacked some of the practical necessities for sports car racing. The car, designed by Michael Fadenhauer and Wolfgang Appel and built by Dallara, featured an Audi 3.6-liter twin-turbo V8 engine. Styling features included a large group of aerodynamic vents in the nose, as well as high side pods which featured NACA ducts on their tops to feed the turbochargers. A large vent on the side also allowed air out from the front wheel well. By the car's debut at the 1999 12 Hours of Sebring, the aerodynamics were evolved. A longer tail was prominent, with the wheel arches more subtly curved into the side pods, instead of an abrupt, hard-edge design. The front end was also lower and featured more aerodynamic styling over the original stylized prototype. However, following Sebring, further testing was done on the R8R in order to better improve its overall speed in preparation for Le Mans. The front bodywork was further evolved, with a wider and more curved side pod being used. The NACA ducts were also replaced with a vertical air inlet coming out of the side fender. The tail was also shortened, and aerodynamic elements were added to the styling of the side pods. Only 5 R8Rs would be built in total. 204 and 205 would run Sebring only in 1999, while 307 and 308 would run Le Mans. 306 would be added in 2000 to compete in the American Le Mans Series. Lessons learned from the R8R would be later evolved into the R8 for 2000. And after R8R, there is a closed cockpit version of R8R called R8C. Following the dominant performance of GT1 class cars in the 1998 24 Hours of Le Mans, the race organizers, the Automobile Club de l'Ouest, ACO, had faced a problem. The GT1 cars had transformed over the past few years from race versions of supercars, as the rules intended, into purpose-built closed cockpit prototypes, where one car was modified to be a street-legal production show car as almost an afterthought. Though these cars were within the GT1 rules, they were not at all what the ACO had intended for the category. Consequently, the ACO modified classification rules for 1999. In GT ranks, the GT1 category was replaced with the GTS category. The GTS class was far more restrictive on modifications, appearance, and meeting a set number of production cars than GT1, but still allowed manufacturers to race sports cars that may otherwise be uncompetitive without major modification. Additionally, in order to address advances and popularity of old GT1 class cars, the ACO created the LMGTP category. The LMGTP category would be for closed cockpit prototypes, which gave a place for the previous GT1 cars, but under prototype rules now, also freed from certain production car restrictions that they had been under in the GT1 category. Under these new rules, LMGTP closed cockpit cars, with better aerodynamics than open LMP cars, and freed of the GT1 restrictions, had the very real potential of dominating the 1999 24 Hours of Le Mans. Toyota and Mercedes both committed to either modifying existing cars or building brand new cars to take advantage of the new rules. With these developments in mind, Audi decided that it should invest in this new LMGTP class, along with the R8R LMP program, hence the appearance of the R8C project. Unlike the R8R, for which Audi had turned to Dallara, they instead looked to Racing Technology Norfolk, RTN, to design and develop the new R8C. RTN assigned Peter Elleray the task, while Tony Southgate consulted on the project. The R8C and R8R both use the 600 HP, 450 kW, 3.6-liter twin turbocharged V8 engine, but are radically different aerodynamically. While the R8R has a large number of vents placed on the nose, most of the intakes and air exits on the R8C are placed on the sides. The R8C also has thinner wheel arches, partially due to LMGT rules at the time that stipulate the LMGTP cars use thinner tires than the LMP cars in order to offset the better aerodynamic efficiency and thus higher top speeds of the LMGTP cars. Additionally, using a styling feature borrowed from the Toyota GT1, the inside of the front wheel arches of the R8C are open so that air does not build up in the wheel wells and to benefit brake cooling. Like most, if not all other LMGTPs of the time, the cockpit is long, gradually sloping to maximize aerodynamic efficiency. Uniquely though, the minimum roof height was achieved with the use of raised humps above the driver's position, so that there is a trough down the center of the roof to allow for more air to reach the rear wing. The rear of the car features a boxy, blunt tail that was developed from the improved R8R. However, it is longer in order to better maximize the R8C's aerodynamics. Unlike the R8R, which was able to complete a full testing program, the R8C was completed late and had very little test time prior to the 24 Hours of Le Mans group test in May. Consequently, the cars suffered numerous setbacks and lacked pace both compared to the R8Rs, and overall, the R8Cs were capable of hitting speeds upward of 350 km/h on the Mulsanne Straight, but they lacked handling stability compared to other cars and hence lacked overall speed across a full lap. While the R8Rs managed the 8th and 11th fastest times, the R8Cs could only manage the 22nd and 28th fastest times. Many of the R8C's problems stemmed from aerodynamic instability, which, besides creating handling difficulties, was causing a buildup of air underneath the engine cover. This issue caused the R8Cs to lose their rear engine covers on several occasions while at speed. Audi Sport UK was unable to significantly improve the R8Cs in the month between the test and the actual race. Qualifying for the 24 Hours of Le Mans produced very similar results to the test in the case of the R8C. Car number 10 only qualified 20th, while car number 9 was even further behind in 23rd. Conversely, the R8Rs were able to qualify 9th and 11th. During the race, both the R8Rs and R8Cs suffered numerous gearbox difficulties, but Audi Sport Team Joest was better able to cope with the issues on the R8Rs compared to Audi Sport UK with the R8Cs. Car number 9 was forced to drop out of the race after just 55 laps with gearbox woes, while the car number 10 succumbed to gearbox failure after the midpoint of the race on lap 198. In contrast, both R8Rs finished the race despite their gearbox difficulties, finishing in 3rd and 4th place, 5 and 19 laps behind the winning car respectively. And now this is the most important in this video, the Audi R8 LMP 900. The R8 won a hat-trick at Le Mans in 2000 to 2002, campaigned by Audi Sport Infineon Team Joest and driven by Tom Christensen, Emanuele Pirro and Frank Biella. First time out in 2000, the team won a 1-2-3 finish. Since then, the Audi R8 has won numerous championships and races, including further wins for privateer teams at Le Mans in 2004 and 2005. The R8 is powered by a 3.6L Audi V8 with fuel stratified injection (FSI), which is a variation on the concept of gasoline direct injection developed by VW. It maximizes both power and fuel economy at the same time. FSI technology can be found in products available to the public across all brands in the Volkswagen Group. The power supplied by the R8 officially listed at about 610 HP in 2000, 2001, and 2002, 550 HP in 2003 and 2004, and 520 HP in 2005, is sent to the rear wheels via a Ricardo 6-speed sequential transmission with an electro-pneumatic paddle shift. Unofficially, the works team Audi R8 for Le Mans 2000, 2001, and 2002 is said to have had around 670 HP instead of the quoted 610 HP. The numbers were quoted at speed and were due to the car making 50 extra horsepower due to twin ram air intakes at speeds over 240 km/h. Official torque numbers were quoted for this version of the engine at 700 Nm at 6,500 RPM. The equation for horsepower, torque divided by 5250 multiplied by RPM, for these numbers produces a horsepower rating of 638 horsepower at the same 6,500 RPM. The Audi R8 structure was designed from the beginning to expedite parts changes during the race. The car's chassis has been likened to a Lego model. Anything on the car can be changed and changed quickly. During its campaign, the Jost pit crew was able to change the entire rear transaxle of a damaged R8, a process which usually takes between 1 and 3 hours in as low as 3 minutes and 16 seconds. The reason for this was that the transmission, rear suspension, and rear subframe were built as one unit. The car had numerous quick connect hoses and easily removable bolts. The whole rear section of the car could be removed as a whole and a new back half installed with the help of a crane. The Automobile Club de l'Ouest, ACO, organizers of the 24 Hours of Le Mans and the American Le Mans Series, acted quickly to void this advantage by mandating the gearbox casing be the same item through the duration of the race, with only the internals being allowed to be changed. However, the R8 still had quicker access to the gearbox internals than any other car due to its quick change construction. This was critical, as the gearbox was the weak link in the car. The R8 structure and body are both composed of carbon fiber, a strong, lightweight polymer material. Performance from top speed to acceleration was, as in most race car cases, variable depending on the car's setup. The highest speed of the R8 at Le Mans was 338 km per hour in the practice sessions of the 2002 Le Mans 24 Hours race. A low downforce setup could reach about 350 km per hour. Audi sports program saw tragedy in 2001 when on April 25th, popular ex-F1 driver Michele Alboreto died in an accident after suffering a high-speed tire failure during an R8 test session at the Lausitzring in eastern Germany. And after that, there is R10, which is diesel LMP car in 2006, but that we're gonna talk it later. I hope you enjoy the video and see you later on next video.